Well, welcome back to another video. Well, I had to sort of quickly pack the gear bag up and chucked everything in the Shimoto, and I was trying to think of things. But a heap of rain this morning, and I really don't like not going out and getting a shoot in when it's raining. All the rainforests here on the sunny coast are just magnificent when it rains, and because I sort of hadn't planned it, I had to think fast on my feet, so I grabbed the old Canon FD 100mm macro. I thought, perfect. Buderim Falls, 10-minute drive maximum to get to you. Basically, it's in my same suburb that I live in. Beautiful falls. We've been here many a time. If you haven't checked out the channel, go check out the other videos on Buderim Falls, and you'll see all the waterfall stuff. Now, I'm not going to try and do waterfall stuff. Obviously, macro, I've got to think a lot smaller. So on the walk up from the car park at the bottom end, notice there's a few little mushrooms around, some nice red flowers, and also what I wanted to sort of look at, trying to get a couple of nice photos, is the rain still sitting on the leaves of the plants. Beautiful lush rainforest, and when that water sits on the plants at a macro level, that can actually be quite good. So that's probably what we're going to look at this morning. We're not going to be looking at the falls, so that goes up, that's the sort of base, the bottom third one down from the main falls. But we're going to be heading sort of back this way down towards the car now. We're going to be looking for small things, small objects, those little things that come up only when it rains, and those raindrops on a nice fern or something like that. So that's sort of what I'm after. Vintage lens, so it's going to be hard work. We'll have it on the Winston. We're going to need to stabilize it as much as possible to get everything in focus, but it should have a nice little bit, adds a little bit of that feeling to it, being a vintage lens, add to the atmosphere of a rainy day. But let's hit that intro and let's see what we can go find. First, probably real composition, and it's probably one I wanted. If you've watched the channel before, you know I'm a big fan of ferns, and there's a little water droplet just sitting on this fern here, and that's what I'm focusing here. F22 on the lens, 1/200th of a second, so if there's any movement I can try and get a photo of it. I'm just doing some test shots now to make sure see what it looks like, make sure my focus is good. I'm getting the leaves right, but the water droplets getting a bit of movement. So it's one of those ones where you just got to keep persevering. I'm using the focus zoom in on the R6, and then we're going to give it another test shot now. I think I've got it. Just giving it a shot now. Righto, so I think that's come up good. I'm just going to get one more. Just change it up a little bit back this way. Try there. See how that one looks. Now I'm using a 10-second timer because I need to be as steady as. And if you can see the movement on the screen just here, that's just the leaf blowing with the wind from the forest and the raindrops falling. So that's why I've gone 1/200th of a second. Okay, so I've just moved over to a different leaf, and you might be able to see it's just up here, little bubble of water sitting on there. You'll see it on the back of the screen in the red. That's the focus, manual focus. So we're going to zoom in to try and get focus. And that one there is what we're after. And you see that branch moving with the water droplets coming on it. About there. You can see the veins in the leaf. So that's pretty cool. It's just about getting the right one. Doesn't look too bad. There's another drop on the left hand side, might be better. That one's sort of, it was a little ball before and it's sort of starting to spread. I'm going to keep playing here for a couple of secs. Starting to get some rain coming through, so that's sort of good for what I'm doing, but I need to keep the pocket 3 out of the rain. Some sort of fungi. Get in as close as I can. I don't know how good the pocket's going to be. Gorgeous little bit of orange just sitting on that moss on the side of a tree. And rain's coming down. The R6 are getting a rain test today. There's another one just up in here I might try and get as well, just in that little hole. So, but here it looks on the back. Just going in, using the magnification, and then I'm focusing on just inside there. It looks like a little chili, some sort of a chili, like a habanero or something. But just focusing in there. Got some highlights here. It's not exposing to the right, so we're getting all that in. So that looks all good. But it's right, all in there is nice and sharp. And then come out and got that nice little contrasty shot. Anyway, if it's any good, I'll chuck her up. Straight down below here, hopefully this will pick it up. But I've got a heap of little mushrooms, which I'm trying to be careful of, but I don't want to disturb them. But I've got these beautiful red flowers here as well. Trying to get one that's got a bit of light, probably over here, and then just set the tripod up and see if I can't get to it and get a shot out of it. Because you've still got that water droplets coming down, you've still got some movement in the plants, so it's tricky to sort of get what you need. And at the same time, I don't want to disturb any of the forest as much as I can. So I'll set up here for that, and then I've got these mushrooms. I'll come back when I'm going to talk about the mushrooms. At the moment, we're going to focus on this little flower just in here. Might not be able to see it on the video. Beautiful bright red flower. Got some browns and greens for the background, just trying to find that right angle to capture it on. And hopefully I can get that and a mushroom, and that'll be done, because the rain's starting to get heavier. And I don't know if the Pocket 3 really likes the rain. He has voiced a few concerns to me about getting wet. Okay, so that's what I'm sort of looking at, and it's come up really good. Really happy with that. Got it focused. Had to go to 250 of a second though. And then here it is out here, and then you can see. And then my next ones I want to look at is these little mushrooms. Got a couple of options. There's one there with spider web, and there's one just down here as well. I'm probably going to go for this one, I reckon. Oh, I've got a beautiful little round one over there. Over here, that one there. You can see that one. Now, if you've seen on the channel previously, I got the little three-legged thing, the monopod leg. I think is going to be perfect to get those mushrooms, because I need to get down low, and even though Winston and I can spread the legs out, I don't want to damage any of that little forest area. So having that tiny little footprint of that little tripod foot will be perfect for what we're going to do next. So I'll get that set up and I'll show you that set up, because it might give you some good ideas, especially if you're doing some macro. Now, I can't hold a big macro lens, but this FD is not that big, so hopefully it should be good. So we'll give it a try anyways. We can only find out, and at least then you'll know if it's going to be useful to you. So here it is again, if you haven't watched the video where I showed you this one. So it's got the little push button legs, they fold back up, it folds back up. Nice and neat, so it's easy to chuck in your bag. So pretty darn small, except my head's pretty big, so not much of a size comparison. Buff head. But as you can see, that's super tiny for a little tiny tripod. Now it doesn't adjust real well on the ball lock. It's not going to lock up, so you sort of need to be sort of set. It's not going to, you're not going to be able to do those crazy angles and hold it. But as an option for when you are down low, I think this is a great little idea for you to give it a try anyway. So we'll chuck the R6 on there and see if we can't get that mushroom, and then once I've got it set up and I've got a shot, I'll come back to you and have a chat. How it looks there on the tripod, on the little mini setup. So it does lock, it'll lock up, so I've locked it up on here, and then I'm in focused onto that little beautiful little mushroom there. So if you come behind, that's the shot I've got. Lovely little composition, nice colours with the greens here, the brown of the palm branch underneath where it's growing off the log it's coming off, and then those greens, and then just the background blowing out. Being a macro, that's what we're going to get. And all I've really focused on is these lines here in the mushroom. So that's where I've done my focus point. Come right in here, and I'm trying to get that as sharp as possible, and you can see how easily it jumps out, and I'm right about there. So I'll take the shot. I've got 10-second timer on. That's in focus, and then we'll see how we go. So what I've done now is I'm just taking a couple other photos for different focus to just get those different lines focused. So if I do want to get a little bit more focus into that shot, I can do that. So I'm just doing that now. Once I'm done, I'll come up and I'll show you what I've got in the back of the camera once I get back on the boardwalk. Okay, so you can see in there the shot. Now that's the second one. You probably can't. Oh, it's a big caterpillar about to come past the camera. Sorry, Mr. Caterpillar, I'm in your way. I'll get him out of the way. There he goes. Off on his little walk. So there's the second shot, and that was just has that second line. You can see there that those little focused lines just here are where I'm focusing, and then I went a little bit further that way, or a little bit further down the bottom on the second shot, and that's just from that little sucker. So it will lock up a little bit. It's by no means as good as a big solid tripod as Winston, as trusty Winston. That's locked solid and hanging upside down. But if you, even if you're not doing just macro, if you're doing other sort of just on ground photography, I talked about it last time at the beach and stuff, doing water, rocks, and trying to get down low, having a little system like this is pretty darn good. So another option for you. Go check it out, and not too expensive. You don't have to buy the whole monopod. You can just buy the foot by itself and then just screw one existing head straight onto it. So, and it's easy to pack up and chuck in the bag. It's not too heavy, and it's fairly handy. So, but yeah, well, that's me done and dusted. I'm saturated from the rain. When the rain come through, it stopped raining again now, but I'm glad I just run out and did this. It was a bit of a fly-by-night, chuck everything in the bag and let's go. But sometimes they're the best ones, and sometimes you can capture things that you don't normally get, especially when it's raining. So next week, I think tomorrow I'm going to try and get out and do a sunrise with Jack. Jack wanted to go out and do some photography with me, so I'm probably going to shoot out and do a sunrise, which will be next week's video. So I look forward to that. But yeah, I'll see you all next week. Stay safe. Peace.